I wonder what he's thinking. I think this is what he's thinking. You love those bloody drums more than me. I should have gone to bloody Doggy Park today, but you didn't take me. Oh my Lord, oh God. I'm going to piss on the couch later on.
Quinlan, and you're watching Melbourne Musos. They shook alive. Oh, a little bit of the Celtic business here. Oh! Ho! How's everybody tonight? Bumpy week, hey? Shit. Okay, let me try and cheer you up. Okay, so what it is tonight, I'm going to talk about a few little things, and one drummer in particular that I hope that we all love and adore. And he's famous for the hi-hat. And so what I've got here I have a C Mixolydian on a Pizzicato Cello, which I'm partial to. Okay, I've talked about the Mixolydian so often. Flat 7, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7 octave. There you go. Work it out. Here you go. And there it is. I have a few patches as well that I'd like to talk about as I go through, you see. And that's one of the other things. And the hi-hat, you got to have a good hi-hat. Ooh! So, how often I've gone about the hi-hat, but let me put on another patch for you. I'm very Celtic tonight. Celtic harp. Carry on. Oh, I've got another one. Oh, I have this. Oh, a bit of angst. Oh. Sorry, pardon me. I better get on to the show, hadn't I? Now, I'm going to talk about the hi-hat. Now, when you're talking about the hi-hat, we have some basic things. One of the most important things to do is get your 2 and 4 together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Many. Many people say leave the hi-hat for the band and all that until you get up to Jack DeJohnette, who did it 4-way coordination. Oh boy. that all over the place. Wonderful. I love Jack Disney. So there you go. And what it is one of the other things that happens is that you can nuance things with the hi-hat. You see, so what happens is you might have that, okay, and then, you know, like, Any hints of the drummer I'm talking about tonight? You guessed it, Stewart Copeland. Most renowned for his hi-hat work. There he is there. Hey. Oh! Red Rain. Peter Gabriel, the So album from 1985. That's the one with Sledgehammer on it, track 2. But track 1 was Red Rain, and the album actually starts off in the distance with... And Peter Gabriel got him in just to play hi-hat. That's it. They just stuck a hi-hat, put a microphone there. That's what it was. And it's Stewart Copeland with all his work with the Police. And there you go. You just hear the hi-hat all the time. Absolutely wonderful stuff. So that's what I'm tending to talk about a little bit tonight. And I'm going to talk about the man. I have my phone here. I will talk about him now. There we go. Stewart Armstrong Copeland, born July 16, 1952. Is an American musician and composer. He is best known for his work as the drummer of the English rock band The Police from 1977 to 1986. That's a bit of a funny date, that, because, and it's got here, and again from 2007 to 2008. But they really went to 1984, and the funniest thing about it was their Melbourne concert at the Showgrounds that I missed. I was supposed to go to, but things conspired to keep me away. At the time, it was in 1984, and they've often said that that was our last concert. But they did get back together in 1986 for one song, Don't Stand So Close to Me, a bit of a slower version than the da-do-do-do-do-do-da-da-da-do-do-do-do version that was on Zenyatta Mondada. Always had the exotic names for their album. But they got back together for 2000 and 2008. Before playing with the Police, he played drums with the English rock band Curved Air, which I knew about in my jazz rock days. I didn't have an album, but I did listen to the albums. You know, back in the days of vinyl, you'd actually go around to a mate's place and go, "Oh, I've got this new album, Curved Air." Never heard of him. "I've got this album, Frank Zappa." "Oh, bloody hell, not again." That's what it was. You went around. And who remembers going around to a mate's place and you got your cassette deck, the little tiny one with the little $5 microphone, and you'd swap. You go, "Well, I can't afford them." You know, you're on schoolboy pocket money. So you go around with your little cassette deck and stick the microphone up on the next to the speaker, so you get either left channel mono or right channel mono. Who remembers those days? So you'd have a cunning plan. "Well, I'll buy the Zappa while you buy the jazz rock. Have you heard this?" And all that stuff. "Yeah!" And you press record, and you're listening to it back, and in the background you hear the murmur of school kids crapping on. Anyway, I'll keep on going. He's not just a drummer. As a composer, his work includes the films Wall Street, 1987, Men at Work, 1990, Good Burger, haven't seen that one, We Are Your Friends, 2015, and the television shows The Equalizer. I have the CD for that in the other room. The Amanda Show and Dead Like Me. He's also got solo albums which I have on vinyl, like The Rhythmatist, where he went to Africa recording things. It was almost like a field recording and things like that. And he does lots of composing work. He's done video games such as the Spyro series and Alone in the Dark, The New Nightmare. He has also written various pieces of ballet, opera and orchestral music. He's really quite the talented bloke. And he actually started the Police. He's also known as, he's got a little bit of a sideway moniker, Clark Kent and all that, did some little singles and stuff. And if only he and Sting got on a little bit better. It's been quite public. And yeah, so anyway, there you go. But he's the king of the hi-hat. I'm going to put one of these things on. Yes, slightly odd time, but I'm going 4 all the way through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I love that little patch there. So it's at 8 and 6 there, you see. So what you got is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Adds up to 14, but you wouldn't play that in 7. 2 bars of 7/4 because it doesn't rack up like that. You see, it's a bar of 8. If you want to think of it like that, 8/4, and then 6/4. If you want to think, it sounds a bit exotic, but nevertheless, it's a lovely little thing. And there you go. And it's a lovely little patch there. I like it a lot. So there you go. Now, when you're nuancing this, there's a hi-hat. Now, keep it straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There. See, a little open hi-hat gives you a little bit of a, well, here it comes, boys. Here's the little thing. Where am I? I don't know where I am. There it is. So when you're dealing with little odd tags like this, the hi-hat can be wunderbar, wonderful, but little, very light things. You don't have to go, here it comes, or anything like that. You just have... Oi, there it is. Oh, wonderful. I like it a lot. I've said that already. There you go. Then what goes on is with the hi-hat. I've often talked about the fact that you can take a basic beat. Spiff it up. On the ends. There you go. And as I said before, you've got your 2 and 4 for jazz. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Hey, there you go. And then what happens there is that there's your cue for the band. Like I said earlier, you know, you leave, sometimes you're in a position where you leave the hi-hat for the band when you're doing esoteric stuff like that, and there you go. Now, one of the big things that happens is to keep a solid beat, and especially if I'm going to talk about my drum set manuals and business, is that you have a 4 on the floor bass drum and hi-hat on 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, There you go. Oh. Don't forget that when you're doing things like this, you've also got other little ostinatos. Is that how you pronounce it? With things like a two feel. So you might have 1, 2, 3. Ha! There you go. So there you are. There's a two feel. But one of the things, getting back to Stewart Copeland and some of his wonderful things, he's all over the place. I mean, you know, you only have to go onto YouTube and see 1001 drummers saying, this is the beat to that. That's how you do that. But I just want to talk about the biography of him a bit. His innovations with hi-hat in the late 70s into the 80s. He was very big with, or the Police were very big with reggae and doing a lot of things with that. Wonderful stuff. And this segues into what I'd like to talk about now. Now, I just did the two feel, but one of the wonderful things that sometimes happens is what is, well, at least I call it, the reverse two feel. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you can actually do it backwards, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you'll hear things similar to that where the bass drum is on 2 and 4, like the hi-hat, like a heavy hi-hat, walking on the moon and all this sort of business, or this sort of biz. And what can also happen is that there's that, and you get that kind of, if you morph it into quavers, so 1, 2, 4, 4. Boot cam should bob up later on, and there you go. There's like a there it is. And yeah, what happens is if I go back to that and sort of get that just a rock beat, but with a reverse two feel. So I might go 1. Put it here. Not quite. Everybody dance now. Boom, boom, Now, also, when you're talking about Stewart Copeland, he was fantastic with the rim clickage. Okay, a lot of people call it the cross stick. That's fine. But when you're actually doing little things like this, you start to get. I might take it out, take the strings out just for a second, just to demonstrate this little piece of stuff, and you get that kind of 1, 2, 3, 4. And I call that a naturally opening hi-hat. What goes on is if you have, let's just say, you just play your hi-hat on crotchets and you're playing quavers, you'll get a natural open hi-hat. Like, I don't really have to think about it too much. It's already there if you can nuance your foot and your shtick, mate, the shtick. Yes. And so what happens with that is that you can get that kind of bit of a double tap on the bass drum. Like on it. Away you go. Oh, beautiful! And I'm really thinking in terms of Stewart Copeland, all that stuff. And there you go. There's that. That's the reverse two feel, you see. I'll read about him a little bit more. Oh, and I'll put the triggers back in. There you go. Hang on. Let's have a little bit of a read of Stewie, mate. Stewie. All right. So what goes on now? Drumming style. Copeland grew up listening to a combination of Lebanese music, rock and roll, jazz and reggae, but he selected from these styles what he needed rather than imitating them. That's a big thing, you know. You know, everyone's wants to play the Rosanna Shuffle exactly right. Of course you do. That's fine. But create your own thing at some point, you know. There you are. Rather than going on a rant. In the 1980s, when many musicians were looking for bigger sound from bigger drums, he added octobarns, invented by Tamar Drums in 1978. Octobarns consisted of 8 6-inch drums in the shape of narrow tubes. Simon Phillips has them as well with Toto. Seeing I was talking about Rosanna and stuff like that, not Mr. Picaro, but Simon Phillips. He's been with the Toto for about 20 years or so. He used another innovation, a splash cymbal, based on a toy that he owned and that he helped Peisty design. He relied heavily on his 13-inch hi-hats. 13, not 14. Oi! And on. Despite being left-handed, Copeland plays a right-handed drum kit, placing the hi-hats on his left and right cymbal and floor toms on his right. He uses a wide dynamic range and demonstrates a proficiency of jazz-style articulation in his snare drum playing, interspersing strong backbeats with soft rim comping. During his years with the Police, he became known for engaging only the hi-hat with the bass drum to keep the beat. That's what I did. That's what it's based on, you see. I hope you are enjoying that. If there's any little tidbits, that kind of thing. So you could be doing just 1 yana, 2 yana, 3 yana, 4 yana, 1 yana, 2 yana. And then you put in those little, that kind of stuff there. Now for me, he was talking about reggae and alt stuff. Yeah, beautiful. But there's a large part of what I do that is, of course, brass bandy. And I'm talking about this is because of the month of April and Anzac Day and, holding all of this in the highest regard possible, you see. Even the Celtic harp there, it gives me a kind of a pipe band kind of feeling, which I love. Now, I'm certainly not playing like I would in a pipe band. I'm just taking the stylistic thing. Now, hi-hat. See it? Snare drum and hi-hat. See, same stuff. I also do splash hats to give the beat some air. Now, octobarns, these are piccolo toms, you see. Not so much splashy, but belly. There you go. I better think about wrapping the show up. So there you go. I hope you get something about that. Tonight's about the hi-hats. And I've often cited people, wonderful people like Bernard Pretty Purdy for things like that. The hi-hat. Oh, I love that clip very much. But tonight it is one Mr. Copeland. And what you have there is I've also got the Celtic harp patches and the Pizzicato cellos for all of this business. Mixolydian mode, I'm talking about that from the harmonic part of the evening. Stewart Copeland, of course, hi-hat. Peter Gabriel's Red Rain was a revelation. It's just him. And then I believe it's Manu Cachet comes in on drums, but he's still doing the hi-hat. Now, when I'm talking about things like that as one little tidbit to finish off with, sometimes with that, I remember PJ Harvey, I mentioned it just the other day, when she came out to Big Day Out back in around about 2000, I think, 2000. And what happened there was one particular song, I'm repeating myself, there was one particular song where you had, Rob Ellis was the drummer. I love him, he's very linear, fantastic. He'd been with PJ Harvey for a long time. And it was a little bit of an augmented band. And what I saw was with one I've already told the story, but I'll just tell it again in the thing about the hi-hat, is that she, or one of her musos came out, Rob Ellis just handed him the sticks and he spent the whole song just doing that. Well, ticka, 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 tick. I did that the other one, so I'm only repeating myself, but I like my continuity, as you know. There you go. Reverse two feel. It's a funny thing. You have to nuance it the right way. Otherwise, your band will think that's the one, but it's not. It's the ends. So it'll be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 3. 1, 2, then you're into your beat. I'm going to love and leave you now, but I'm going to put on, it's a bit softer tonight. Actually, let me do that.
Later on. Hey!